Well, this morning I was on my daily 4-hour practice session, enjoying a fresh pipe and some arpeggios, and then I came across a video which shattered my vision of guitar playing. Paul Gilbert playing a 7-string. I instantly clicked on the video from the late 90s, sawing Paul with his pink 7-string, and there he was talking about a tuning that totally blew my mind. So I thought, maybe it's time to take a deeper look into the secret tuning of Paul Gilbert. Here we go. Hey Guitar Champion, what's going on? I'm Hombach, back from my practice cave, and now I'm here with my 7th string in the secret Paul Gilbert tuning. So what is the tuning that we have here? Well, the first 4 strings, these one here, are tuned down standard. But in Paul's case, one step below, so D standard. So we have D, A, F, and C. Everything standard tuned, so you can have your normal chords and all the normal stuff that you can play with 4 strings of the standard guitar. The other 3 strings are these in 3 octaves. So this is a D, this is a D, and this is a D. And now Paul Gilbert is famous for playing around with this tuning. We all maybe remember the song Get Out of My Yard from the record Get Out of My Yard. It was actually my first Paul Gilbert record. And there he is playing some intense, crazy arpeggios on a guitar which only has 3 strings. In this case it was 3 E strings, tuned in octaves, and by this kind of method we can outline really cool chords by arpeggios which are really wide, but actually not so hard to play because we don't have to do some string skipping, we don't have to do extreme position shifts. All we have to do is stay in one position and go to the next string. And the cool thing with this method here is that we still can write songs by using all the other 4 strings. So, for example, we can create some really cool riffing with the D strings. And then when we want to go into some sort of solo section or so, we can still use the upper 4 strings. And I think this is totally genius. Now let me play something with the D strings. For example, Paul Gilbert has, as I mentioned, the song called Let the Computer Decide, and there he's playing riffs like this. Or for example, something like and of course the super cool wide and shreddy arpeggios that Paul is playing with these kind of tunings. So, and another way how you can use this really creatively, and by the way, I usually tend to not even take a look at different tunings. I still have so many problems mastering this instrument with normal tuning. Why ever learning something like an open tuning or whatnot? But this is something different because I can use my regular shapes and stuff that I can use for my shredding technique and combine it with some open strings and open tuned kind of interesting voicings. For example, what I also like to do is to combine these strings with a scale run with the other 4 strings. For example, playing the E minor scale like this, only the first 3 notes but over 3 octaves, which would actually look like this in a standard tuned guitar. So really high jumps. So instead of fingering something like this, I only have to do this. Really cool. And then continue with the scale. Well, at least with the shape and with the position where I'm in right now. So I can create scale runs like this. But not only for shredding is this a really cool tuning, you could also do some really interesting kind of clean chord progressions. This morning, for example, I wrote this kind of little riff here. The string gauge, by the way, that I'm using is a standard 11 set string. So the high E string is 11 string and the rest is built on top of it. I think it's Oniball regular slinky, something like this. It's Oniball, the string that I'm using here. The problem here is you have to waste 2 packages of strings because you also need another E and a D string. The low E string is something that you don't use in the upper half of this kind of tuning. But yeah, there you have to waste a little bit more than just 1 package. Alright, and yeah, that's basically it. That's the secret Paul Gilbert tuning that I discovered this morning. Really, really awesome. I really like it, and even though I never touch anything that is different than the standard tuning, maybe drop tuning and of course some down tune stuff, but open string tuning, I prefer not. Alright, I hope you liked this little introduction into the Paul Gilbert's tuning, and now I want you to maybe grab an old 7 string and play a little bit around with that kind of tuning. And I hope I'm going to see you in my next video. Cheers so far. Please leave a subscribe, a comment and a like, and stay in progress. Bye.